Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Average Joe's Overlanding here. Just got back from the Overland Expo 2022 and wanted to talk about something that I think everyone enjoys while out camping for the most part, and that is coffee. Now this doesn't look like your regular coffee. We'll get back to that in just a minute here. But usually when you go camping, you need some sort of stove to heat up the water. You need, your coffee grounds, the little steeper in there, big old pot like this, and then of course the fuel source for the stove. This becomes quite a lot of gear to be packing around, not to mention, it seems like it doesn't matter how many times you run this little thing through the dishwasher or scrub it, there is always still coffee grounds stuck in it. So what I'm going to show you today is a product that came out from these folks over at Wildland Coffee, and it is coffee in a tea bag. So this allows you to not have to carry coffee grounds. You don't have to carry nearly as big of a fuel source because it's kind of single serve. Gives you the option for cold brew as well as hot. You can even let it brew overnight as a cold brew, then boil your water in the morning and add it to your likeness. So we're going to do that here in just a moment. I'm going to try it out, kind of a blind taste test. I told the guys that I would do a quick review on it, just for you guys to know this is not paid. They didn't pay me, they didn't sponsor me. I paid for this coffee out of my own pocket. So I'm gonna do a legitimate review and I will let you know. So as we were just talking about, this is all the equipment that you would normally need in order to make your coffee, right? And anybody that's ever set up one of these old Coleman stoves, while they are amazing, they're kind of a pain to get the wind blocks up and get the fuel source lines screwed in here and get the canister and all that. Instead, taking out the water, the creamer, the coffee mug that you're going to need anyways, here is everything that I'm going to need to do this one little coffee bag. So comparison, it's a lot smaller. You can take this anywhere. It's extremely lightweight, fits in any little camp bag, and all the same stuff that I can use here to brew that big pot is right here to brew this one. So I'm gonna get this set up and then we'll show you. So this is my little backpacking stove setup. I'll kind of show you this. This is a kit that I got on Amazon. They are ridiculously cheap. I've had this one for 5 or 6 years now. It has never failed me, always lights on the first time. So I'll show you what I got in here. So this is just a little, kind of like pan. This is the actual stove. I've got, a little salt and pepper for some seasonings. I've got a little folding spork in here. My fuel canister for the stove, and then I always keep a towel at the bottom, and it helps when rattling around to keep the edges of the stove fuel from scraping up any of the Teflon down in there. So let me get this all assembled and we'll start boiling some water. All right, now that we're all set up here, you can kind of see how this little stove works. Just all assembles there pretty easily. One of my favorite things about this stove is that on the inside here, there is actually markings for ounces as well as milliliters. So we are going to follow the instructions on the package very specifically, and it says 8 ounces of water. So we are going to just fill that up to the 8-ounce mark there. And then, like I said, this stove has never left me down for a first strike. So turn that flame up there and give it a few minutes and let it boil. Well, it's been a couple minutes. We have water boiling here. According to the package. Bring an ounce of water near boil. Okay. Place coffee bag in water. Soak bag 5 to 8 minutes. So we're going to do that here real quick. Alright, so this says real ground coffee, tasting notes, dark chocolate and caramel. So you can definitely smell a little bit of dark chocolate. I don't know that I smelled any caramel, but we can see. Let's see here. Wildland Coffee Co. on Instagram. And says that this package is good for about 12 months for freshness. So we'll give it a few minutes here to let it steep and do its thing, and we'll come back and see how it tastes. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes or so. Packaging said 5 to 8 minutes, but I know I'm going to be adding water and everything else here because I don't know about you guys, but 8 ounces is just not enough for coffee for me. So pull the bag out here. I'm just going to set it over here on the ground for the moment being. And I'll do a quick taste test. I normally don't drink black coffee, that's why I've got the creamer and everything here, but definitely want to give a quick taste test before I dilute it with all the other stuff. It's actually really good. Like I said, I don't prefer black coffee, but I could definitely drink that black out on the trail with no cream, nothing else, even at its strongest point here without diluting it down. So highly recommend it. I'm gonna go ahead and add my creamer and make the coffee the way that I normally do, but I hope this has been a good review and helped some of you guys out. I'll put the link to the little camp stove, the coffee company, all that stuff in the description below. Hope you guys are having a good day. Get out there on some trails.